Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Allow me to begin this video by asking you guys this simple question. Was Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment part of Uhuru Kenyatta's condition to meet with William Ruto? Was it part of the condition that Uhuru Kenyatta told Ruto that for me to meet you, Rigathi Gachagua must be impeached? Because yesterday, but one, William Ruto went to Gatundu and paid a courtesy call to Uhuru Kenyatta. And it is now very clear that the two met as part of their wider strategy of taming Rigathi Gachagua. There is something which I've consistently stated on this platform, that in politics, we have only two constants. The first constant in politics is normally the interest. The second constant in politics is normally betrayal. As long as the interest of the politicians can converge, they will always work together. So the question is, what is that interest that can bring Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto together? For me, that interest is the fear of Rigathi Gachagua. The two gentlemen are not comfortable with the kind of popularity Rigathi Gachagua had started enjoying in the mountain. And indeed, I want you guys to listen to Gakuya, who is a close ally of Rigathi Gachagua.
It is very hypocritical. And this is a clear statement that even in America, where there was there was an indication that there was a meeting between Laila, the former head of state, Uhuru Kenyatta, and the current head of state, was real. And in this particular yesterday's visit, personally, I would take it as Uhuru and his failure to comment on Gachagua's hammering during the purge was hypocritical. And actually he knew this nation. And there was a big blessing for him, for where Raila today is positioning himself. And you cannot tell me, since Uhuru has never distanced himself from being the chairman of the Asmio fraternity, he told me he understands very well what Raila does, and they are in good communication. And let me tell you, one thing I would just say this morning is that their card is going to do to not flourish anywhere. Yes, Uhuru must remember, he tried to sell a candidate in Mlima, Kenya, and it proved difficult because the decision is not an individual. The decision is to the entire region.
Because there's no way you can convince me that with the current political situation in the mountain, Uhuru Kenyatta would just agree to open his gates for William Ruto. And we also know that Rigathi Gachagua was capturing the mountain. And indeed, Rigathi Gachagua even went ahead and declared Uhuru Kenyatta as Mount Kenya kingpin, which means as much as Rigathi Gachagua was trying so hard to win the support of the mountain, he still considered Uhuru Kenyatta as the Mount Kenya kingpin.
You promised the people, or rather during the campaigns you used to say that when Raila Odinga came to the government under the handshake arrangement with President Uhuru Kenyatta, that's when you lost the Jubilee government of second term. And you said you'd never allow Raila Odinga into your government. Now it appears he has quite a hand in it. Yeah. Is that a deal breaker for you?
Well, I look at it differently. You know, only a fool doesn't change his mind. We had President Uhuru Kenyatta, our fourth president, brought Raila to government and asked us to support Raila Odinga, which we, the people from the Mount Kenya region, were very unhappy about. and we disagreed with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and President William Ruto persuaded us that Raila is the one who has caused problems in government. He persuaded us, and he's a very persuasive leader, and we were persuaded. President William Ruto persuaded us that if we allow Raila Odinga to become president, this country will not move forward. And as a result, we disagreed with President Uhuru Kenyatta and rejected Raila Odinga and gave our vote to President William Ruto. So when we came into office, it was my agreement with President William Ruto that we will not allow Raila into government. But along the way, my boss, President William Ruto, changed his mind.
Rigathi Gachagua even went further and apologized to Uhuru Kenyatta and the family.
Sisi hapa katika mlima Kenya tulipatia president 87%. Kweli ama uongo? Mimi nimesema hiyo 13% tukiongozwa na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta mtoto wetu, niunganisha kila mtu tukue kitu kimoja. Sasa wananipiga mimi ate niko na ukabila kwa sababu nimesema Uhuru Kenyatta ni mtoto wetu, tuungane pamoja. Iko makosa nimefanya? Iko makosa? Mimi niliangalia na mimi si mjinga. Wasifikiria mimi ni mjinga. Sisi tulichukia.
But if you look at it critically, there is some fear in both William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta as far as Rigathi Gachagua's popularity is concerned. So in this video, I want us to talk about the fear Uhuru Kenyatta has for Rigathi Gachagua. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. A cup for coffee only goes for 200 shillings, but you can do more. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. Can you convince me that the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua and the way it was conducted was not part of William Ruto's move to fulfill Uhuru Kenyatta's demands? That before we meet, ensure Rigathi Gachagua is removed. I'm 100% sure you will not be able to convince me. And because you cannot convince me, let me explain to you guys why I strongly believe that there is a fear of Rigathi Gachagua in both camps, Ruto's camp and Uhuru Kenyatta's camp. Because I've talked to so many people and they have the feeling that Uhuru Kenyatta cannot work with William Ruto. I want to tell you that is living in denial. Politics, as long as the interests are converging, they will always work together. If Uhuru Kenyatta didn't want to meet Ruto, he would not have met Ruto. And just like I've always told you, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. That meeting and the way the photos were shared was intended to achieve certain political objectives. So for me, in my considered opinion, number one, the formation of a new political party by Rigathi Gachagua, because he has already formed a political party. He announced that, and they are soon going to unveil it in January. You see, Rigathi told Kenyans that wait for January. They did not allow that January to reach. Why? Because they fear that if Rigathi Gachagua were to allow, because they fear that if Rigathi Gachagua were to form that new political party, yeah, Rigathi Gachagua was going to stamp his authority in Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is critical for William Ruto and also for Uhuru Kenyatta. For William Ruto, Mount Kenya will determine whether he's going to be re-elected or not. For Uhuru Kenyatta, his political survival depends on the mountain. For example, if you were to go to election, for example, if you were to go into the election in 2027 and Jubilee Party fails to win seats, Uhuru Kenyatta would become totally irrelevant. So Uhuru Kenyatta has been trying to revive Jubilee Party, or to some extent, not even Jubilee Party. Uhuru Kenyatta has been trying to revive his political career in the mountain. Rigathi, with his political party, was going to disrupt that. And that is the convergence they have with William Ruto. So for me, I think the move by Rigathi Gachagua to form or to announce the formation of a new political party or political direction in January did not sit well with these gentlemen. It rattled them. It was going to lock Uhuru Kenyatta out of Mount Kenya politics. That's number one. Number two, I think Uhuru Kenyatta has also realized, although a bit late, that his failure to offer political direction was costly, politically speaking. It created political vacuum in Mount Kenya. Not only now, even previously. For example, in the last election, Uhuru Kenyatta failed for a very long time to offer political direction to the mountain until it was a bit late. Again, after the last election, Uhuru Kenyatta has kept low profile. That is what cost him. And because Rigathi Gachagua was out there offering the mountain options, offering the mountain political direction, that this is the direction we are going to go. And the mountain were aligning themselves. William Ruto realized he was losing. So he had to reach out to William Ruto, which meant Rigathi Gachagua and his team had to go back to the drawing board. Number three, and this is, I think, William Ruto's strategy. You know, the hatred towards William Ruto in the mountain, as we speak, is on another level. You can't even attend a funeral and mention the word of William Ruto. The other day you saw Sabina Chege literally begging the mountain to allow them to go to the mountain with a gift from the president, Christmas gift. And because of that hatred towards William Ruto, coupled with the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, which Rigathi Gachagua actually made appear as if it was the mountain which was being impeached, Rigathi was really winning the hearts of the mountain. So they had to disrupt that. So currently, there's confusion in the mountain. There are those, and they're the majority, who are saying, watch Uhuru aende peke yake. But you know, the fact is, Uhuru Kenyatta has those who believe in him, who will follow him. That is what William Ruto wanted. So that when we speak of Mount Kenya now, we are not talking about Ruto and Rigathi alone. But we are now talking of Ruto, Rigathi, and Uhuru. And that works well for William Ruto. In fact, I think it's a trap which William Ruto has laid for Uhuru Kenyatta. It works well for him because the votes will be divided and again the apathy will go down. Number four, you know, Rigathi Gachagua was relaying a message to the mountain. And that message was resonating so well with the mountain. Uhuru Kenyatta was nowhere to be seen. But the audience or the residents there were really receiving these messages. Rigathi Gachagua was becoming popular each and every single day. What do? You slow him down by appearing for a handshake. And lastly, you know, there's the revenge mission here. I think Uhuru is on a revenge mission. Because between Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua ought not to have betrayed Uhuru Kenyatta. But he did. So Uhuru is having a field day. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were to ask me, Uhuru Kenyatta is not comfortable with the popularity of Rigathi Gachagua in the mountain. And that's why he met with William Ruto. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye. By the way, tomorrow, I want to talk about the Luhya politics. Very important. And the people to watch in the Luhya nation. Particularly, the new ODM deputy party leader, Godfrey Otsosi. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.